Which approach do you like better, the Rams or the Patriots?
I like the approach that's best suited for your team. And what the Rams have done, Skip, this is what's suited for them. They realize they have a quarterback that's on a rookie contract. He's going to make $7.6 million.
Yep.
If he's a free agent, you're going to have to pay $34, $35 million, which he's not going to become a free agent. That's something he's never going to experience, at least in the next 7 to 8 years, Skip. So you're going to have to pay him $35, $40 million. They understand that. So they basically have a 2-year window to shove all their chips to the center of the table. Go out and trade for sign Ndamukong Suh via free agency. You trade for Aqib Talib. You trade for Marcus Peters. Brandon Cook, you trade for him and then give him a big-time deal.
Big deal.
This is what you have to do. Pay Aaron Donald the big money. Because, Skip, you got a small window. Because everybody's not going to do. Now, this isn't sustainable. The Patriots model is sustainable because what they found is they found a generational, they found an all-time great player willing to play for less than market value.
They did.
And the thing that makes this team so great, Skip, is that everybody looks at Tom Brady, and Coach Belichick says, look at him. Whatever he's doing, that's what I expect of you. But he also says, look at him. He's playing for less than market value.
He is.
I also expect that from you. One guy on this team is making market value. That's Stephon Gilmore. And they had to because they had to go to a bidding war because he was a free agent. See, that model is not going to work for the Rams because they've already seen Aaron Donald make top dollar. They've already seen Brandon Cook make top dollar. See, nobody else really has made top dollar. Even if you look at Gronk. Gronk has been underpaid for so long, but this is what is expected. So that model works for New England and only in New England. Coach Skip was trying to explain to somebody, we were in a meeting, and he was explaining, and he was like, well, Shannon, this is what we love about Shannon, because Shannon would play for free. And I stopped him. I said, I would play for free, but I'm going to need everybody else to play for free too, because Shannon ain't going to be the only one playing for free. New England, Tom Brady takes a pay cut. Bill Belichick says, I'm going to need everybody else to take a pay cut. That's not going to work in the Rams. I love what the Rams have done, Skip, because this is the way that they could get good in a hurry. And when you come to L.A., Skip, ain't no milling around. Ain't no 3-12, ain't no 3-13, no 4-12, because ain't nobody showing up. You want to put butts in the seat? The thing about L.A., they like winners. They love win. Hey, like Mike Siegel
Sometimes I'm not even sure they love winners, but that's just me.
Pretend to win.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way this thing was going to work. Skip, they're building that big old $2 billion stadium over there in Inglewood, and they want people to show up. They're gonna more apt to show up, Skip, if you got a Super Bowl or you contend for the Super Bowl every single year, as opposed to being 4-12, 5-11. So I love what the Rams have done because it fits them. This is not sustainable, but I love what they've done.
Boy, Tom Brady sure would like to have Brandon Cooks this Super Bowl Sunday, wouldn't he? And he had him last Super Bowl Sunday, and then Brandon Cooks wanted money, and all of a sudden a trade gets made, and you get a first-round pick back for him, and he gets his money, and he's now a Los Angeles Ram.
What happens when you want money, Skip, in New England?
You're gone. You're just gone. So to your point, I cannot blame the Rams for going all in with a bunch of mercenary-type players because it's the only way to fly. This franchise, be it in L.A., Orange County, or St. Louis, it has one Super Bowl to its credit, 1999, thanks to Kurt Warner and
greatest show on turf.
Yeah, right? And they had 2 old Dark Ages NFL championships in, 1945 and 51, but nobody cares or remembers any of those. So if you want your...
The Bob Waterfield era?
It was. Norm Van Brocklin, Bob Waterfield beat Otto Graham in the show. That's pretty good.
They beat the Browns.
I know, beat the Cleveland Browns. That was the 1951 championship. That's pretty good, but nobody cares.
You didn't cover that game? I think you covered it. You covered that. You covered it. You covered it. I know it.
I wasn't even born yet, but I think you're all over that game. You know more about it than I do. How could that be? That's interesting. But here come these Rams, and boy, they loaded up, and they took some borderline character players, right? And they're all in on defense, so they push we know all about...
That's what made you leery of them.
Okay, I know, I was. We know about Sue's baggage. he not make the play at the NFC Championship game in overtime?
He did.
So you are loaded up, and you got 4 guys across the front of your defensive line. All 4 of them were taken in the first 14 picks of the first round,
That's
right?
correct.
And then at quarterback, you have the 1st overall pick, and at running back, you have the 10th overall pick in Todd Gurley. And Brandon Cooks was the 1st-round pick, and we can just go down. You mixed and matched in your offensive line, and you are set, man. You got a shot to go beat Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And the only issue I have is the quote-unquote bad actors, they're all on defense. All the good guys. Brandon Cooks is a really good guy. All the good guys are on Sean McVay's side of the ball, so he's good. Let Wade try to deal with this group because it's tricky. And I thought it underachieved all year, and I'm not sure it played great against the Cowboys and great at the Saints because, you know, again, if the Cowboys are going to give up 170 yards rushing in the first half, they're going to be up against it. But the defense, it was good that game.
But their goal was to shut Zeke out.
Yeah, and they did that.
Right.
They did it. I give you that.
But if I'm a player, and the thing is, Skip, you have to ask yourself what's more important to you. And obviously, when you go to New England, you know, Skip, we're going to win the division and we're going to go deep into the playoffs. There's a great chance with 9 Super Bowls in 18 seasons. There's a great chance I'm going to end up in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But if you go to the Rams, what they're telling you, if you perform, we're going to play you. Aaron Donald got paid. Todd Gurley got paid.
That's true.
If you perform here, we're going to pay you.
Okay.
And that's all I ask for is that you reward me for my hard work.
Okay.
Now, if I'm willing to give you a discount, don't you come asking me.
Okay.
But if I'm willing to give you a discount, let that be on me.
Okay.
Don't you bring it to me. Well, you know, Shannon, you know, we try to get that in my job.
I got it. So you're still all in right now, and then you figure it out later.
Yes.
I do not believe this will last.
They got 2 years. They got another year.
Maybe one more year,
Yes,
but I'm
that's it.
going to throw this out. When you have that many questionable character guys on one unit, let's just do the worst case scenario in the Super Bowl. What if Brady and company jump out to a 14-0 lead? You know, and I know there is potential that all of a sudden Marcus Peters is pointing at Talib, who's pointing back at Marcus Peters, who's pointing at Sue, who's pointing at Fowler, and they're all just saying, what's going on here? And all of a sudden it just comes apart right before your very eyes because you can't trust the bedrock character that your defense is built on. But the talent is undeniable. I just thought they underachieved all year.
Yes.
And you were the first to point out, Drew Brees, once he hit the wall at Dallas, he wasn't quite Drew Brees. So that they take advantage of Drew Brees a little bit in New Orleans. This will be a test against Brady because he'll find your weakness and he'll pick.
Well, I think what's going to help them, Skip, is that they fell behind. Now, granted, New Orleans and New England, not to be confused, but to go back, they fall down by 13 in New Orleans in that building.
Yep.
Now, this should be a fairly neutral crowd. I don't know how well.
No, I agree. That's a good point.
I don't know how well the Rams are going to travel, Skip. But you know the Patriots fans, they have a loyal following.
Sure.
Now, it might be getting a little old, like, man, I mean, how many more of these trips? Yeah, we done been all over the place. We done been to Arizona, we done been to Minnesota, we done been and now we're here in Atlanta. So maybe it's getting a little old and they don't want to travel anymore.
I also think Super Bowl tickets are harder to acquire than LA Coliseum tickets.
Or the casual fan. I mean, you basically price that guy. The guy that's gonna paint his face, Skip, and paint his chest and have the pom-poms, you kind of priced him out of this game.
Yep. So what has Bill Belichick been able to get away with just because he has one constant, Tom Brady, at quarterback? He can do, you know, I always tell you that in the NBA circles, when I used to cover the league back in the 80s, they had what they called the one knucklehead theory, which is you can have one knucklehead on your team, but you only have 12 guys. So, but if you have two knuckleheads, you got trouble.
Right.
So in this case,
never have two since you have 53-man roster.
That's correct. Maybe you can have two. But in Belichick's case, he'll go for the quote-unquote bad actors occasionally because he went for Corey Dillon and Haynesworth and then obviously Randy Moss and my man Chad Johnson. They all have different kinds of personalities. I'm not saying they're all bad actors, but they all had some issues. Aqib Talib, obviously Aaron Hernandez had all kinds of stuff going on at Florida, all kinds of red flags there. And Josh Gordon. And they can take a shot. They can say, let's try this because we do have Tom Brady and we have a core of leadership in our McCourty and Hightower, and we can sort of get away with this. But they usually only try it with one guy. And the rest of the guys are coachable cogs who are all underpaid to me. Right? Because that's the way Belichick wants to do it. That's what makes him happy. That's how he's going to do it.
Skip, how do you go and says, I want market value when arguably one of the greatest players ever your teammate makes less than market value. Tom Brady makes $15 million a year. So how can I go if I play wide receiver?
Wait,
I play
how much does Kirk Cousins make? 28?
A lot more than that.
28 million.
So Skip, let's just say for the sake of
Kirk Cousins makes almost twice as much as Tom Brady.
Skip, I'm a wide receiver, and I just put together a great season. I have 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. And I see what Odell got, I see what AB got, I see what Julio making, and D-Hop making, and Mike Evans. How do I go to Bill Belichick and say, look here, man, I'm in that category. I need to be somewhere in that. What you think Bill gonna say to me?
I'll get another guy.
Yeah.
I'll make him a star.
He said, I really enjoy coaching you. He said, you really coachable, Shannon.
Yeah.
That's what he gonna tell me, Skip. Because Tom has already says, give me a little something, I'm good. So you can't go in there and try to say, well, I've had, but it's great. Tom has done two things. He's helped guys, you stay, you make some good money.
Yeah.
But Skip, he suppressed his own market.
Yeah.
Because now nobody's gonna get market value because Tom has never accepted market value.
Yep.
So that's the expectations. They expect him to lead. They expect you to follow him. So they also expect you to follow his lead in order to stay there is to take less than what you would probably make if you were on the open market.
Do you want rings or cash?
I was just going to say that. You want to go to the Super Bowl or you want to make more money?
Let's see.
I think I'll...
You know what, Jenny? At some point in time, I can't eat those rings. Because you know that man, the mortgage, now even with the government shutdown, what them people want? That mortgage company say, I need you to make this payment.
Sure, they want the money.
Yeah, I need that. So how can I eat? How many rings can I eat?
Rings, so you're a bad example.